I am Ernest Allman, and I got something to say. I've been looking at everything that's been going on with the election over the past year, and I just am seeing all the money that's being spent and all the energy and all the emotion that's being put into campaigning and preparing for today, Election Day, and who's going to be the next president of the United States. And I've just been thinking and thinking and thinking, and I understand the process, and I think it's valuable. I already voted last week. And I'm a civics teacher. I teach my students the importance of voting and exercising their right to vote, and the reasons and how the vote has changed over the decades and the centuries and all of that. So I understand voting. I understand the importance of understanding that the two choices and the multiple choices and choosing. I mean, I majored in political science. I know. So I get the energy that we're putting into the election to a degree, because I think about a lot of the problems that we're facing, and I really, as a man of God, as a Christian, as a follower of Jesus Christ, what I do is question, what if all of us that are involved in the political process, what if all of us that were believers that were involved in this process, what would happen if we took all the energy that we're using to campaign for Barack Obama, or took all the energy we're using to campaign for Mitt Romney or whoever, and what if we used all that energy and put it toward the kingdom? I think it's a good question. I mean, politics is important and it has its role, and government has its role, but what if we really put that energy to the kingdom? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, if you look at what's going on, I mean, people are using their social media, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything's being used to promote your political candidate, your ideas, who you're with. If you look at the money that's being poured into these campaigns, you're talking about billions of dollars being spent on campaigns, which is basically their travel, their food, clothing, and commercials. And I know we're tired of seeing these commercials. It's like every commercial break is all political advertisements. But the point is, like, we're spending all this money. We're spending all this money, all this time, all this energy. But it's just a man. We're spending this money on people. We're spending this money on the election, which is going to be over today. And then for the next 4 years, these people will be in power and they'll play their role. But what about the kingdom? The kingdom is every day. The kingdom is inside the heart of every man or woman that believes that Jesus Christ is Lord. What about that? What about the energy that we could put into that? I mean, if you think about it, people were having debate viewing parties. People were filling up their Facebook timelines, their news feeds, their Twitter timelines, with all of this information about the candidate, and frustrated and fussing about who's right and who's wrong and who's telling the truth. What if we put all that energy and got tunnel vision, like we're going to represent the kingdom of God? If we took our money and our time and our energy and concentrated it on the kingdom of God, do you have any idea what would happen? Do you have any idea what would go on in this world, just in a nation? Just talk about American Christians. If we took the energy that we're spending on getting somebody elected today and spent it on promoting Jesus Christ as Lord, you know what would happen? Change. Like, I know it's a catchphrase, but what I'm talking about is the change that we've been hoping to see in the world, the change that we've been hoping to see in our neighborhoods, the change that we've been hoping to see in family and friends, the change that we've been hoping to see in situations. If we really, really focused all of this that we're doing for these campaigns on a campaign for the kingdom of God, I think that things would really change. I mean, what would really happen if you think about it? If we took $2 billion and put it in our churches and in our communities, what would that do? We could feed hungry people. We could give homes to people that are homeless. We could create shelters. We could use that money to invest in businesses and create job training programs for people that aren't getting the education that they need, who have odds stacked against them, who are re-entering society from prison. We could change people's lives. We could give them food, we could give them clothing, we could give them shelter. We could do a lot of things for people with $2 billion being spent in a period of a year. If we as believers were taking the time that we're using to make phone calls and post statuses, to volunteer, to go door to door, if we took that time and gave that time to the kingdom, there'd be some change. There would be more people saved. There would be more people saved if we were taking some of this energy, some of this vigor, some of this bent up frustration, this pent up frustration. If we were taking that and using it to proclaim the love, the power, the spirit of Jesus Christ to people around us, people would change. Walls would be broken down. Families could be reconnected. We could keep people out of prison, keep people out of situations that would hurt and harm them. We could free people from drug addictions if we took our time. We could provide mentorship for kids whose fathers aren't at home. We could do so much if we took the time that we're spending on the campaign and put it toward the kingdom. And then if you talk about just the plain energy, like the raw amount of emotion and energy that we're spending here, I'm telling you, we can make a difference. We could build homes. We could really build up communities if we took our energy, turned inward, looked at the church, looked at the kingdom of God, looked at how we were doing business, looked at what it is that our priorities are. If we really shifted that energy inward to our churches and said, you know what, we're going to do what Christ said that we were here to do. We're going to be the salt and the light. We're going to be the thing that seasons this world. We're going to be the thing that shows love to our neighbors and even our enemies. We're going to be the ones that change the way the world works. If we put our time and energy, if we put our money toward the kingdom, the same way we're doing toward the election, we'd see the change that we would want, that we want to see in this world. It'd be happening right now. It can still happen right now. If we take your little break for Thanksgiving and Christmas and then recharge for next year, see a real change happen, and it won't be because of who's in the office of the president.